Hello, and welcome to Uncle John's cabin.
We could do it, you know. We could rule the world.
So I finally went and did it. I finished Baldur's Gate 3. And boy, what an ending that was. The whole thing, the whole final boss pretty much took me all night. Literally all night. I started playing at 8. And I finished 7:30 in the morning the following day. It took me 4 monster energies and I finally got through it. I don't know even where to begin with this game. I'm going to keep this spoiler free. I've posted clips of my favourite parts of the playthrough on the channel. But for this, I'm not gonna mention any spoilers in case people are interested in playing it. And I really want you to experience it the way I did, especially being a Dungeons and Dragons fan, and especially being a Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. So Baldur's Gate 2, Shadow of Arm. I even had Tales from the Sword Coast, the expansion for, I think it was the first Baldur's Gate. When I first heard there was going to be Baldur's Gate 3, I did think to myself, why call it Baldur's Gate 3? It's probably not going to have anything to do with the original Baldur's Gate series. I mean, it was 20 odd years since that came out. So why is it called Baldur's Gate 3? I don't know why there would be a connection. It reminds me of the Baldur's Gate PlayStation games, Dark Alliance, which didn't have any real connection to Baldur's Gate. Unless I was missing something. It was a while since I played them, but they were good Gauntlet style video games, but they weren't connected to the bigger Baldur's Gate picture. So I did think to myself, like, Baldur's Gate 3, I honestly didn't expect it to have the connection that it did. Again, no spoilers, but towards the end, there's such a fantastic cameo. It caught me completely by surprise. I had to stop the stream and just take a second. I went on Wikipedia just to confirm everything. Yep, it was true. Unbelievable. And I just want to mention something about Baldur's Gate, something that's always bothered me. Before I started playing it, Playful Mind Gaming sent me a review. I can't remember who the reviewer is. And maybe I'll put it up on screen. Maybe I'll play the video.
However, I think it's important to mention, if Act 1 is 100, Act 2 is between 90 and 95, and Act 3 is between 70 and 80.
Yeah, this bit. He said that he'd give Act 1 90%, Act 2 80%, but Act 3 he would only give 70%. And another thing that confused me is H3H3 podcast, who are not exactly gamers, it's not a gaming channel, but they kept mentioning Baldur's Gate and they kept saying the ending was quite rushed. So everyone was saying the first part's really good, which it is. The first part's fantastic. There's some really funny parts. Really funny parts. Act 2, really strong. Very Ravensloft. Very Bloodborne-esque. Almost would say it's my favourite Act 2. But Act 3, I know there was patches and they changed the endings, but the third act is like a whole new game by itself. The references to Baldur's Gate, the references to Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, there's some iconic bits in there. Some great locations, and I just don't understand why the early players, so the PC players, felt like the third act wasn't as good. I really am confused. Something must have changed. If anyone knows, please comment. And as I said in my other video about the personalised story, I got my own personal story. Playing pretty much chaotic neutral. I made some really crazy decisions towards the end. even killing one of my party members. It just fit really well in the story and the way I'd been playing. And the ending was just chef's kiss. And it was my own version of the ending, because I'm sure there's different endings. And mine was pretty much an evil ending. For me, that was great. Other players might want to be a bit more heroic, a bit more sanctimonious maybe in the way they finish it, but with mine it was an evil playthrough pretty much. Chaotic neutral, not chaotic evil, but still pretty evil. But it all fit, and when I think back over the story, had it have been an animated movie or something, it would have been really perfect. I wonder if other people have such interesting stories tailored to their playstyle or the way they approach it. Even made a really interesting ally that I might make a separate video about, but somebody you wouldn't expect became a really good ally and helped me win. Their support was vital to me winning. It really was. And now I'm in a bit of a weird situation. I finished the game. Yeah, you can have another playthrough. Do another playthrough. Many people have said. I started a Dark Urge playthrough, but I mean, playing the game again, but as a psychopath, I mean, that's a little much for me right now. So I'm playing Divinity Original Sin 2. And it's a little tough, to be honest with you, after Baldur's Gate. Trying to get back into something. I think any game, though, would struggle to keep my attention after that mammoth of a game that just hit me. Steamrolled me. I was thinking Cyberpunk or Lords of the Fallen. Maybe down the line. At least until Dragon Dogma 2 comes out. But right now I think I'm going to take a break. Play Divinity Original Sin. It's good, it's good. I mean, it's a great game, but it's just not Baldur's Gate 3. Nothing's going to be Baldur's Gate 3. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could have lived with being poor. So, yeah. I'm still in shock.
I think I've only been playing it
Still in shock.
less than 2 weeks.
What a
I think I got it-
fantastic ending I got.
About 2 weeks ago on Saturday.
What a fantastic game.
And
The
I just
references,
don't know what to say, honestly. I've
the
never
Easter
had any
eggs,
experience like it.
the legacy characters were quite funny. They were good. Black and white. Everything is good for them. They must defeat evil. There's no question. While the newer characters were a bit more grey. Especially Astarion, even Gale, they started to question things a lot. Whereas the two legacy characters, I won't spoil who they are, but I've already posted about them. They seemed a bit old-fashioned, which was kind of apt because they were from the original game. And their way of thinking in this day and age is a little old-fashioned, so it was really funny how the newer characters had a bit more, they were a bit more ambiguous, let's say, compared to the legacy ones. Still feel slightly bad about what I did. But in the grand scheme of things, it told one hell of a story. One that I will never forget. So, that's it. It's done. I'm exhausted. And I'm trying to fill that gap. The greatest video game I've ever played. Pretty crazy to say that at 43 years old when I've spent most of my life playing video games. And only now, my middle age, have I played the best ever video game. I can't wait for them to release more things. There's talk of them doing it, but I don't think it'll be for a while. So, here's to Divinity Original Sin 2. and Cyberpunk, Lords of Fallen, Dragon Dogma 2. These are the things that are coming up. But I wish I could go back in time and play Baldur's Gate for the first time all over again. But such magic does not exist. So I'll probably take a break, a little bit of Divinity Original Sin, and lots of YouTube videos. Oh, and I'll probably clean my room. Alright, all the best, thank you, and goodbye.